Good morning, good morning. Freddie Bachelor's here with Basement Politics. Morning rush hour. How you doing this morning? Soggy day. Current temperature is 51 degrees. It will be raining all day today. But it's going to be getting better, actually. And next week will be really nice. Good morning. I wanted to come on this morning because I want to mention that I will be coming on today with a special on corruption. Yesterday, I did a podcast in regards, well, part of the podcast was in regards to the Bernice Breckman Community Center walkthrough and rally that happened yesterday. And what I want to talk about is actually what happened toward the end. A woman by the name of Carolyn Elizabeth Marie, was on Yonkers Voice and had mentioned some allegations. And I did talk about it on the podcast yesterday, but I want to get into it a little bit deeper. I want to talk a bit about it a little bit more. So I'm going to be coming on today a little bit early today, probably late morning, early afternoon, to discuss the comments that were made. And the comments were in reference to Councilmember John Rubo offering a bribe and offering a job with the city, $60,000 to $70,000 job with the city of Yonkers, in exchange for this resident not to run against him in the elections. What made it more juicy, I guess, for lack of a better word, is that the councilman said that the mayor was well aware of the offer and had sanctioned the offer, and the offer was on the table. But the offer was turned down. However, now it's being talked about and mentioned, as well as other things here in the city of Yonkers. And you can go on my podcast and see that. I have that interview with Carolyn and Yonkers Voice toward the end of the podcast, last night's podcast, and see exactly what I'm talking about. But I want to do a little homework, a little research, gather some information, and then come back on and discuss this in more details, because this is some serious stuff. This is serious allegations. We're talking about political corruption, a politician attempting to bribe a member of the community so that that member does not run in an election. And that council member is saying that it was sanctioned by the mayor of the city. And this is something that's been talked about a lot. Hear whispers, people mentioning it here in podcasts, emailing me about it, texting me about it. But we rarely get information firsthand from the person that was actually there. And it involves Zahi Jeris, also someone that I've mentioned on the podcast many, many times, who's been arrested and convicted of political corruption. He served 4 years for political corruption tied to the city of Yonkers here and current elected officials. So it's not far-fetched. It's quite possible. And I, for one, have no reason not to believe Carolyn. Many people have no reason to believe Carolyn, and others have similar stories. And they're looking to speak on it and talk about it. And I think that this snowball is starting to kind of get bigger, creating an avalanche of individuals who are just tired of it, tired of holding in the information that they have, frustrated. They have been attacked. They have been retaliated against, and they couldn't do anything about it. They felt powerless. But things are changing. And those that once felt powerless are now being empowered and are finding their voice and strength. And I continue to encourage those to do so, because together is how we create change. And this is just generally speaking. But the allegations that were made were very serious. And if they are true, what should we do? What should be done? What do you think is the next step? How do we go from here? So I want to talk about that a little bit later. I'll be back on. Please join me. Important podcast. I think so. And we'll be discussing that. I'm thinking maybe 1:30. So look out for that. I'll make an announcement. Just be on the lookout. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the political corruption, the history of political corruption, and the current allegations that were made by a Yonkers residents regarding Councilmember John Rubo, the mayor of the city, and Zahi Jeris. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is your morning rush hour report. I'll see you later.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Wins. Fatality.
Join me later, folks. You don't want to miss this podcast. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered.